I watched President Biden's press conference this week, and I was impressed that he could go on for as long as he did. I think he was trying to make a point that he really has the endurance, and all these conversations about cognitive disability and getting too old just weren't true. It was a little weird in his mood swings, making you wonder sort of exactly how he got through, but he did. And I thought that was impressive. And I thought some of his answers when he was asked, was he happy with Kamala Harris's job, and would she be on the ticket in 2024? He said yes and yes.
You put Vice President Harris in charge of voting rights. Are you satisfied with her work on this issue? And can you guarantee, do you commit that she will be your running mate in 2024, provided that you run again?
Yes and yes.
I thought that very short answer was actually quite professional and quite clever. However, Ronald Reagan used to say the thing that worried him about liberals wasn't what they didn't know, it was what they knew that wasn't true. And listening to Joe Biden, you have to wonder, does he really believe all this stuff? He claimed that his speech didn't say what his speech said. Well, it was his speech. He ought to know what his speech said. And his speech was totally divisive, bitterly anti-Republican, suggested that any of us who didn't agree with his election bill were racist. There was no other way to read that speech. And what worries me about it is, I don't know to what extent Biden believes his own lies, that when he tells us these things, he's totally being honest. I used to know with Clinton. In Clinton's case, Bill Clinton knew what he was talking about and used lies as a technique and was really good at it. I once said that Clinton was like dealing with mercury, that you put it in a little, like a matchbox, and you do this and it would roll around with no friction. Well, that was Clinton. Clinton believed totally every lie he told you. So he never lied. He just said things that weren't true, but he said them with great enthusiasm. In Biden's case, I really worry. His mistake about that it was okay for Putin to seize a little bit of Ukraine was really dangerous. Luckily they came back immediately and said he didn't mean it, he misspoke, etc. But Russia's already taken a little bit of Ukraine. It's called Crimea. And the various sanctions that Obama put on it were pathetic, trivial, and had no effect. So I thought that was the most dangerous part of it. But on balance, if you go back and you were to go through and take all of his answers and check them out, you'd find that about a third of the time, he just wasn't telling the truth. And that's dangerous, and there's a real possibility he believed what he was saying, which would mean that he really does have in his head an amazing number of things that aren't true. So it was a sobering press conference. It was better than being a babbling idiot who couldn't remember anything, but it was nonetheless, I think, very worrisome to have a president of the United States who would spend that much time saying things that were patently not true.